right, good evening, everybody. It's Sunday night, and that means one thing. We're here live with the Diehard Racing League with the Automated Office Technologies Truck Series. Tonight we are at the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As always, we would like to thank our title sponsor, Mr. James Brown, who is the owner of Automated Office Technologies, for sponsoring not only this season with the trucks, but next season with the Xfinity cars as well. So James is our proverbial punching bag here in Diehard, but he takes everything with a stride, and he is absolutely one stand-up guy, and I'm proud to call him one of my friends. So we got what looks to be a pretty fast group of guys here tonight, as I'm seeing some times here of around 35s, 36s, 37s, so they're pretty consistent all the way through the top 10. I think all the way the top 10 is maybe only about 0.2 of a second between what I'm seeing as what would be a pole time and all the way back to 10th place. So it looks like we're gonna have a lot of door-to-door action tonight as we move on from a super speedway track to something that we're more accustomed to, the 1.5 miles and these smaller tracks. Now, Las Vegas happens to be one of my favorite tracks, although as we saw, turn 4 is always going to be the arch nemesis. Turn 2 can be a little bit slick on new tires until they start breaking in, but either way, these guys have been sitting here. They've been practicing and practicing and practicing like they always do every Sunday before the race kicks over and we head into qualifying, as the timer is running out now, so the session will advance into qualifying. But as always, joining me in the booth is my cohort in crime, Alan Schoen. How you doing tonight?
You know, Art, I'm doing pretty good tonight. It's been a long weekend trying to work on Ford, which is never fun. We all know how that goes. But I'm looking forward to the race tonight, looking forward to seeing how these guys do. Hopefully we get some good green flag runs in, and we'll try to keep the coverage rocking.
Well, I think there will be no shortage of action tonight, as this is open qualifying, as last week it was closed qualifying, but anything that is not a plate track, which we only run Daytona and Talladega once, so everything else we do run open qual. So you'll see everybody out there on track, and anybody has the chance to get the fastest lap if they can get behind another car and get the draft going. So right now we see the 28 of Adam Nowinski and the 24 of Josue Tellez, who was last week's season opener winner at Daytona by about a fender over, was it Brad, I think? I think he came on second last week, but it was an amazing finish there. Josue has shown amazing improvement throughout last season with the K&N car. He racked up 3 top 5s, and this season so far has been no exception. He put the cherry on top of the icing there and brought home the W in the opener. So look for that 24 to be a contender. I know he puts in a lot of time here and a lot of effort to learn these tracks, and we know he's fast right now. He's currently 6th on the board. Right now, our pole sitter for the time being will be the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Of course, that is going to change quite frequently, as we do have 10 minutes of qualifying here. Now, Alan, I know we've had some rule changes go into effect. You know them better than I do, so have at her.
Well, you know, one of the new rules is that if the leaders are coming up on you, Race Tower will tell you to get to the inside or the outside to get out of the way of the leaders. So that will be a new rule change there. I'm not entirely sure what the other one was. I'll have to look that one up.
Meanwhile, we see one of my paint schemes there, the 68 of James Brown, rocking the Automated Office Technologies paint scheme, as we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer, the 5 of Brad Speidel here. Right now, Cameron Hearn is still on the pole. Todd Cray's holding on a second, and Robert Barris is in the 3rd spot right now. Just outside of that, we have Adam Nowinski in 4th, Seth Schultz in the 77 in 5th, James Brown in 6th. So there's a different thing. Normally we see James right in the back. Oh, the other rule is if you qualify, you must grid. That's the other rule.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Behind James in 7th right now, we have Brad Speidel in the 5, the 4 of Caleb Thompson 8th, Josue Tellez 9th, and running at the top 10 will be Rodney Kramer so far. So we see the 70 get a little out of shape there, as we see the 17 of Cody Franklin come up the track and get collected. He was on the brakes there. It's just when that truck at speed tries to go, it will snap loose on you.
All right, so that new rule that is in effect for clarification is all drivers that are not on the lead lap or about to go a lap down when 10 laps to go in the race will stay high out of the way of all lead lap cars. Failure to yield to lead lap cars will result in immediate disqualification from the race.
And there you have it. Look at the 24 of Josue Tellez. He did a great job painting that truck on his own. That's his first attempt there with Photoshop, and might I say it's a damn good first paint scheme right there. A liquid moly, and he's also rocking the Diehard Live TV, so nice shout out to Josue there for rocking the Diehard logo, as a lot of the members are. And it seems that also with the other leagues that we cover too, a lot of them are starting to pick up and throw our logo on their paint schemes. See the 28 of Adam Nowinski, that is yet another one of my paint schemes. And now we focus to another one of my paint schemes, the 77 Seth Schultz, running the Johnny Sauter Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff Truck. Right now, just to recap the top 10, it's still Cameron Hearn with the pole right now. Todd Cray still 2nd, Robert Barris 3rd. Seth Schultz has moved to 4th, Adam Nowinski 5th, James Brown 6th, Brad Speidel 7th, Ralph Vandervorst has moved up to 8th, Caleb Thompson 9th, and Josue Tellez will round out the top 10 now. As we are under 4 minutes to go here in open qualifying with, and I don't know why I did not pop this up sooner, but probably because I was so excited just looking at everything else, and I always look forward to Sundays coming around. Of course, we are live here with the Diehard Racing League Automated Office Technologies Truck Series at Las Vegas. Get a good look there. The 76 of Joshua Jones, the 4 of Caleb Thompson. We can see some of the drivers are having a little bit of a tough time getting out of 2 there, making contact with the wall and inevitably getting hard to the inside. That's a little hard to do. As we come to the 1 minute warning here in qualifying, the top 10 is still pretty much set in stone. Nobody has really changed positions. So the drivers have roughly 1 minute to get out there and get that hot lap and try and take it away from the 97 of Cameron Hearn, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think he's gonna lock down the pole tonight here at Las Vegas. See a hell of a save there, but oh, he still gets the wall. That was going to be one epic save, but the inside wall decided it wanted a piece of that Tundra. All right, the checkered has come out here in qualifying, so you know anybody who's tuned in on a weekly basis for any of our streams knows what exactly is coming next. We have the U.S. Army Marching Band on standby to present our nation's colors and give us our national anthem. So as soon as these trucks hit the grid, we will commence with the national anthem. So before that is said, everybody might as well go ahead and please stand like the rest of the crowd is doing. Remove your hats and get ready for the U.S. Army Marching Band to present us with our national anthem. Well, you may not have heard it, but apparently the microphones were not connected to the marching band, so therefore they were playing a cappella. Needless to say, let's get into the starting grid. Starting on pole tonight will be the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Outside of him, the 10 of Todd Cray. Rolling off third will be the 75 of Robert Barris. Outside of him, the 77 of Seth Schultz. Adam Nowinski in the 28th will roll off 5th. Joshua Jones will start 6th. James Brown rolls off 7th. Brad Speidel 8th. Ralph Vandervorst 9th. Josue Tellez will round out the top 10. Rodney Kramer will start 11th. Caleb Thompson 12th. Cody McFadden 13th. Danny Sanchez 14th. Cody Franklin 15th. Walter Felt 16th. William Ruland will roll off 17th. Corey Brown 18th. Michael Tant 19th, Avery McDonald 20th, Chris Ostrander 21st, Douglas Hess 22nd, and then I do believe the rest of these did not connect, so that is going to round out the field as we are on the pace lap here. Get a good look there at the 28 and 76. Pace car makes its way out of turn 4. It'll duck down onto the pit road, and we will have 97 gets a good jump. Green flag is out. Lap 1 is underway here at Las Vegas. Huge stutter. As they waste no time, they are double file through turns 1 and 2. As they put the first lap in the books, we see Robert Barris has already gotten out to an early lead. Todd Cray has gone up to second, Adam Nowinski to third. It looks like Cameron Hearn might have got a little loose down there on the apron going through 1 and 2 on that opening lap, which is going to cycle him back. It's going to show him in, looking at the scoring here, he's going to be shown all the way back in 22nd spot after that. So tough break for the pole sitter, as that is going to hand the lead over to the 75 of Robert Barris. You can see the entire field barrel down the backstretch into turn 3. Some drivers opting to use the apron there. You get a good look there at the 17 of Cody Franklin, who is sponsoring the race tonight, as well as James. We don't exactly know what the sponsor is, but Cody has thrown some money in the pot there, so that will be probably for the luck of the draw. We take lap 5 here. We're nice and orderly here throughout the field, something that we pride ourselves on. We don't try to have too many cautions, and when they do come out, it's usually for a good reason. Right now the battle is staying on the 50 and the 23. That'd be Michael Tant and Corey Brown. We also see the 17 of Cody Franklin in the mix. It looks like we've got the 6 of Rodney Kramer through the grass there. He's going to save it and get back on track. So we see the 42 of William Ruland and the 90. Now we've got the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst and the 77 of Seth Schultz door to door as they come out of 4 here. Meanwhile, the 28 of Adam Nowinski has managed to make his way around the 10 of Todd Cray. That's going to open the door now for James Brown in the 68 to try and get up there and take a spot, as Seth is going to complete the pass there on the 3. Now we see the 10 of Todd Gray. He's looking to take second spot back from Adam as he's on his inside as they come out of 2. Adam is not going down without a fight as he's still going to hold on. He's actually going to clear the 10 this time. See the 68 of James Brown looking a little bit there, but he's not going to make his move just quite yet. We see the 3 of Ralph Vanderhorst. He takes the very high line through 3 and 4 there. That's going to allow the 76 to close the gap as well as the 5. We are 10 laps in the books here at Las Vegas. We see that the 77 of Seth Schultz has made around the 68 of James Brown. So that will put Seth up to 4th and James back to 5th. Robert Barrison, the 75, is still our leader. Adam Nowinski in the 28 is still holding on to 2nd, but he's got the 10 of Todd Cray in 3rd place right on his back bumper as we are working lap 11 here. I know it's still early on in the race, but it's never too early to do what, Alan?
I would say it's time to crank it up.
You would be correct. Caution on the track. All right, as you see, it appears that we have found it, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump back and take a look and see what happens. Now this is a lap prior to it coming up to the actual incident. So this is on the 64 of the podium pad. Makes his way into 180 here. Making his way down the backstretch here. Everything looks good so far. Looks like we see the truck just starting to come around a little bit there in 3 and 4. Oh, very, very close, but very good job by all our drivers avoiding it, and it only resulting in a self-spin. So great job for locking it down, and that's going to make things nice and orderly as everybody's getting ready to come down pit road. So Alan's going to be watching these pit times as they come in, as we see the pit camera here at Las Vegas is way up here with us in the broadcast booth, so we get a good aerial view of everybody coming down. So you see Brett Bodine out there lone wolfing it in the pace car.
You know, and the drivers are reporting the longer they ran this truck in practice, the looser it got. So that could be evident something that we may be seeing throughout the rest of the evening is just trucks getting a little bit loose and sliding out.
I was hearing that, especially me and Cody were talking, and he went out and did some practicing, and he said after about 13, 14 laps, the truck started getting pretty loose. So definitely that would probably be what we saw there. It's just the truck starting to get a little bit on the free side, but once again, good job by the 64 locking it down and the rest of the field getting out around it. As everybody has made their way off of pit road, we will cycle up to the front of the pack as we see the 75 of Robert Barris is still going to be our leader. Adam Nowinski still second. The 77 of Seth Schultz managed to make it out in third spot. James Brown in fourth, and rounding out the top five will be the 10 of Todd Gray. So you see the 64 of Cody McFadden going down pit road for service.
So our pit times at this moment kind of look like a 15.5 for the 75 of Robert Barris, a 28. Yeah, I screwed that up. A 14.9 for the 28 of Adam Nowinski, a 14.2 for the 77 of Seth Schultz, a 14.2 for the 68 of James Brown. Looks like for the 10 of Todd Cray, he came through with a 15.6. The 5 of Brad Speidel comes in with a 14.7. The 24 of Josue Tellez comes in with a 14.9. Joshua Jones in the 76 comes in with a 14.9. Ralph Vandervorst in the 3 comes in with a 14.8. Caleb Thompson comes in with a 14.5. Corey Brown with a 14.1. Michael Tamp with a 14.9. Cameron Heron with a 14.8. Douglas Hess with a 15 flat. Chris Ostrander with a 15 flat as well. Danny Sanchez comes in with a 14.9. William Ruland comes in with a 15.4.
As the pace car gets ready to make its way off pit road, Robert Barris is going to lead us in the restart zone. Green flag is out. We are back underway, lap 18 of 150 here at Las Vegas. We get a good shot of the entire field as once again they barrel down the backstretch into turn 3. It's a nice change to see a shorter backstretch versus last week where we were at Daytona, where that backstretch just goes on for forever.
So the 90 of Danny Sanchez there on the start, he gets a little bit loose and puts the truck almost sideways, but he recovers it and keeps moving forward, but that was close.
Meanwhile, looking towards the front, the 77 of Seth Schultz has made his way around the 28 of Adam Nowinski, and right now James Brown, the 68, is putting the pressure on Adam as well, as he's looking to the inside as they go into one. Also, we see the 24 of Josue Tellez under fire by the 23 of Corey Brown as Josue is trying to make the pass on the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst. Not quite able to do it, as Ralph does have the run going into the corner, but we'll see how this low line works as we see them all come out of turn 4 there. Looks like Josue is still trying to work it over.
You know, and unfortunately, Corey Brown, he's got a one race deficit to make up here, so he's really got to race smart and really points race for the rest of the season to get himself in contention for the championship.
Well, tonight should actually work in his favor then, because we all know Corey, he loves a loose setup, and with these trucks being as loose as the drivers are reporting, this is right up Corey's alley, so I expect to see him make a march towards the front. as the tires start to fall off and the truck starts to get looser as everybody else is trying to hold on to it. That's where Corey's skill set comes into play, and we should see him making some moves up the field. We put lap 23 in the books. It's still Robert Barris out front. See the 77 there of Seth Schultz. He is second, and now James Brown is under fire on the outside by the 28 of Adam Nowinski as they come out of 2 here. So we've got a truck in the wall. He's going to stay up there. Oh, 24. We had a little bit of an incident going on. The caution is out.
Hit.
So as we can see, not a good night there for the 24 camp as he was involved in that wreck. We're going to back it up here and take a look and see what happened. We kind of saw it start to unfold, but we see another truck down there smoking, so we'll go back a little bit further, and I do believe it does start with one getting in the wall, which I believe would be the 3 of Ralph Vanderhorst, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you are correct, but I'm not sure that.
Josue looks like it's a little loose, and then the 97 looks like he just kind of drives down in the 24. And then Josue, oh my God, Josue gets T-boned by the 50 of Michael Tant. That also collects the 3 of Ralph Vanderhorst, and I don't know if Avery made that through unscathed. It does appear so. His truck looks all right, but
yeah,
Michael Tant went for a wild ride.
Yeah, it does appear that wow, Michael Tant's flipping.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and get an onboard of Michael Tant's wild ride there.
It does appear that you know, the 3 getting up into the wall kind of stacked that field up. Those guys were trying to dodge him and weren't aware of other vehicles around him and collected a big mess.
Let's see, right here, we're gonna go on board. Now this is leading up to the incident here. You see the 3 up there, he's gonna go up and brush the wall. And it looks like everything's clear, and then all of a sudden we see the 24 come down, and oh yeah, we're going for a ride. Oh wow. And we're still riding, still going, we're good now. Definitely a wild ride for the 50 of Michael Tant there. So we see that truck is unfortunately parked on pit road, but that is to be expected after seeing that wild ride that he went for.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the caution really hadn't even flown at that point, so he was still wide open throttle. I mean, he may have been able to see kind of what was happening in front of him, but a little too late.
And honestly, to me, what it just looked like is there's just a racing deal there between the 97 and the 24. I don't know if the 97 knew that the 24 was down, wasn't down as far as he thought he was, and he came down a little bit, just enough to clip him and get him loose. And unfortunately, it caused the 24 to overcorrect and come back up the track. And like Alan said, the yellow hadn't come out at that time, so everybody behind that was still at full throttle. So no time for the 50 of Michael Tant to react to that. And as we saw from the onboard view of that, he went for a wild ride upside down multiple times. So we are working our second caution here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I almost screwed up and said Texas because they look so much alike. That's the one thing I love about Las Vegas. Look on the wall there, it says Dodge. You don't see Dodge hardly anywhere, thanks to Fiat pulling everything out of North America. The only thing I think Dodge is still left in is drag racing and road racing. Meanwhile, the pace car is off. The 29 of Avery McDonald is going to lead us this time. We're back green, lap 27 here at Las Vegas.
As we're 3 wide. And we're 3 wide in that backfield. They're about 6-8 cars back. As they start to get it straightened back out, for Cody Franklin and Brad Speidel were
Caleb
3 wide
Thompson's
with
in the 4.
Sorry. Cody's in 17.
There you go.
I'll get it right one of these days.
I'll learn you one day. And on that restart, I think there's something, a little mental note to point out. We saw that the 29 had control of the restarts. Right now the 29 is in the wall. He's going to stay high, but it appeared on the restart that he jumped the start and then he pulled high. That way the 75 couldn't get the run, and the only way that Robert would be able to pass would have been on the inside, which would have given him the black flag. Now that is not against the rules, but that is another thing that falls under just driver etiquette. That it's something that you don't really want to do on a restart, but it did not affect Robert whatsoever. He stayed checked up, didn't get a black flag, and he is still out front now leading it. Right now, a quick run through of the top 5. It's the 75 of Robert Barris out front, Adam Nowinski in the 28 second, the 68 of James Brown in third, the 23 of Corey Brown, James' son, in fourth, and the 76 of Joshua Jones. And while I went through that, the son has passed the father. Corey has moved his way up to third, and Brad Speidel has made it around the 76, so moved the 5 of Brad Speidel up to fifth, as they are battling it out right there. Brad's trying to take that spot away from James.
And just another quick note here. Michael Tant and Douglas S. have
retired
their cars as we have Brad Speidel hard into the wall.
4's involved. Lieutenant Todd Cray through the grass. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Still see the 24 of Josue Tellez down there on pit road. I wanted to check in with him real quick and see how he was doing. Obviously, still going to sit there and get that repair taken care of, but we're going to go ahead and we see the 5 of Brad Speidel. His motor has terminated, as he did come home second last week. So we can see right there is a little bit of the incident. We're going to go leading up to it. Here we see him battling against the 76. The truck that will come into question will be the 68 of James Brown. As we see right there out of 1 and 2, he's a little tight up against the 76, which, funny enough, that used to be Brad's old number there. As we see right there, he just gets up a little too close, and it knocks him into the 10 of Todd Cray and the 4 of Caleb Thompson. Caleb does a great job locking the truck down and minimizing the damage, but we see the motor on the 5 truck has all but expired, and a lot of the guys here Well, one of our rules is if you call it out, you do receive an end of line penalty, which Brad, being a great race driver, he owned up to that one, admitted that it was his fault, and since his truck is so heavily damaged, I don't think he has to worry about that EOL because he'll be sitting on pit road for a little while after that one.
Yeah, and it's not just if you call it out. If you are determined to be the cause of the caution, then you will get the EOL. We have a guy up in the tower that's keeping an eye on that. Mike Major is our tower official, and he does a really good job of keeping these guys kind of reined in and try to keep them under control.
As right now, our leader is being scored as the 73 of Chris Ostrander. But we're going to bring in Mr. Tellez here. Josue, not the way you wanted to start Texas, is it?
No, it is not. There was some bad luck going on there.
It looked like, I believe it was a 3 that got in the wall there, but I don't think the 97 knew that you weren't down. I think he thought you were a little bit further down, more towards the apron, and he got in the side of you, which turned you back up the track. And at that time, the caution hadn't flown yet, so all the drivers behind were still wide open throttle. And unfortunately, the 50 of Michael Tant ended up T-boning you. And as we saw from the replay, he went for a wild ride down the backstretch into turn 3, flipping several times. So how's the damage on the truck? Are you going to be able to get out on track anytime soon?
Well, we got a couple more minutes to go. Doesn't look too bad. Dynamically, we're going to be off the pace, but I mean, we're here for the points, so I'm going to stick around. Once the truck is ready, get back out there. And yeah, you're right. I was coming up on 3, and I reacted to him brushing off the wall. And when I went wide, the truck wanted to get a little loose. So I tried to adjust it, but then I got touched on the right rear, and the truck just went right after that.
No, we all looked at it, and it was just a racing deal right there. There's nothing that could have been done. It's unfortunate that it had to collect you, as last week you did pull off your first ever win at Daytona, and we had high hopes that you were able to back it up with another one. But like you said, it's all about getting back out there in points racing, as this season we do have the chase, and we know you want to be in that.
Yeah, I do. And yeah, I mean, we'll get it fixed. We'll get it back out there and then finish off strong and then go on to next week.
Well, unfortunate for you there, Josue. You know, a win last week, and now the truck's pretty well beat up. You know, we hope you get it back out there and at least salvage some points. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, Alan.
That was the 24 of Josue Tellez, our winner last week at the season opener at Daytona. As the lights on the pace car are out, we have a change in the top 10. While they're coming to take the green, I'll run through it really quick. Robert Barrison, the 75, is our leader. The 97 of Cameron Hearn, second. Third is the 28 of Adam Limsky. Corey Brown, fourth. Seth Schultz, fifth. Danny Sanchez, sixth. Cody Franklin, seventh. Avery McDonald, eighth. Joshua Jones, ninth. And Ralph Vandervorst is going to round out the top 10. Right now we're looking at a truck whose driver has nerves of steel and skills that are comparable to that of any pro NASCAR driver. The 75 of Robert Barris as the pace car gets ready to duck off. Robert's going to lead us into the box. Green flag is out. We are back racing lap 38 here at Las Vegas. Right now, And now it looks like we got a battle heating up for third. We got the 23 of Corey Brown trying to make the move around the 28 of Adam Nowinski. Now we see the 28 of Adam. He's trying to work over the 97 of Cameron Hearn and try and take second spot away. So right now, Robert has nothing to worry about because the battle is right behind him for second, third, and fourth spot.
It's a pretty good battle going on between 6th through 12th as well. There's 5 trucks involved back there.
There we go. As we see that gigantic battle right there between, we see the 70 there of Walter Felt. He's making the move on the inside of Avery McDonald in the 29. We see the 68 of James Brown there. We see the 90 of Danny Sanchez, the 73 of Chris Ostrander. I believe that there's the 3 of Walter Felt back there as well. It's a pretty good battle going on between these guys. We see a little bit of damage there on the left rear of the 68 of James Brown. That is from the damage inflicted between him and the 5, which brought out the last caution. It's good to see that James is able to stay out there and stay competitive, as right now he is being scored in the 9th position.
Yeah, and that 3 truck belongs to Mr. Vanderforst as well.
Yes. As right now we've got the 73 of Ostrander making a move on fellow AMS teammate Avery McDonald.
As he almost gets the wall.
See the 73 has managed to make it around the 29. Now he's going to try and make it around the 68. Get a good, nice look at that semi-clean paint job. It's a shame seeing some of the trucks that I painted with damage on it, but James is doing a great job right there. We see on his windshield banner, I had to throw it in there for him. The nickname that he gave himself, Downtown James Brown, so I felt it was only fitting. As we see the 73 of Ostrander, he's going to make the move on the outside coming out of 2. So that will shuffle Chris up to 9th spot and James back to 11th now. As he's under fire by the 29 as they come out of 4 here. So see if James can try and get back in line here.
You know, I was just watching that a little bit, and Avery's not the first one I've seen do it. It appears that coming out of 2 and 4, the track feels like it gets really narrow. The truck really wants to wash up the hill, so you got to slow it way down if you're down underneath somebody, which really kills your momentum off the corner.
That's the thing that Las Vegas and Texas share a lot in common. Texas is absolutely deadly if you're on that low line trying to come off and you've got a truck on the outside. And it's also just as deadly being the truck on the outside because you've got a shorter distance to the wall, but being on the inside, if your truck starts to lose grip, it's naturally going to want to wash up the hill. And if you're trying to make the pass, it's ultimately going to lead you up in, as we're 3 wide going through turns 3. The 29 backs out of it, so power move there by James Brown. And the 70 of Walter Felt as he dives to the apron. He's going to try and take the spot away from James. I do believe he is going to get that as James is going to settle in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure James is just points racing here at this point with the damage on his truck. He's going to lay back and see how the race unfolds.
Well, right now, while we are green flag, it's time to go to everybody's favorite camera on the planet. It's time, once again, to crank it up.
Good move by McFadden there. He got a little bit loose and ended up down in the grass.
Great about keeping that truck under control. Stepped out on him, but he quickly got out of the throttle, straightened it back up, and got it back on track without incident. I absolutely love that crank it up camera. So right now we're going to do a brief summary. Right now we have 50 laps in the books out of 150, 5 lead changes, 3 cautions for 10 laps, which is not too bad here at Las Vegas, given the nature that we see some high speeds here and the loose conditions that the drivers have been reported, and apparently we've got some action going on the track, but the caution is not flown yet, so I don't believe it's going to come out. As the 97 of Cameron Hearn makes it around the 75 of Robert Barris, that's for the lead right there. As we see the 23 of Corey Brown, he is currently in third. He's trying to get that second spot. Shot of them sliding out of four there. You can see a couple of trucks a little bit sideways, but that's just the way with the transitional banking here that they'll come up out of the corner and you'll sometimes see the truck kind of just slide up and out. And then I can see over in the live chat we got Evan over there from Velocity Gaming. How you doing tonight, buddy? We come to lap 55 here. So you take a good look at the 17 of Cody Franklin. He's rocking those Diehard logos as well as the Sport of Veteran. Now that's another paint scheme that Cody himself made. Right now this is the battle for 6th spot right now, as Cody, as in 6th, he's under fire by the 76 of Joshua Jones and the 73 of Chris Ostrander. As we've got a truck hard on the wall, that's the 28 of Adam Nowinski. Hard to the inside wall, no caution, as it appeared to be just a single car spin, and as the rule goes, no caution flies unless it's on the racing surface for more than 2 vehicles. Yeah, I did get that message. Hawks sent me a Facebook message and told me that he had updated the Dalton Highway. So when I'm not doing this professionally, there'll be a lot more Dalton videos coming out soon. But on Sundays, it's always here with the Diehard Racing League. Friday nights, we are with Cyber Racing Association's K&N Automotive Solutions West Series. And on Tuesday, yeah, 2 more. No, we got 1 more, don't we? No, yeah, 2 more. 2 more weeks. And then on Tuesdays, we have the Mr. Shift Racing League, where they run the Monster Energy Cup cars following the actual NASCAR season. So that's 3 nights of racing. And then I believe after Friday night, after the K&N season is over, Dwayne will be alternating between the K&N car and the Camping World truck. As we see the 23 of Corey Brown get a little bit loose there out of the corner, that's going to open the door up there for the 97 of Cameron Hearn. But if there's anybody that can wheel a loose truck or car, it's definitely the 23 of Corey Brown.
Well, you know, we do have at least 2 drivers that are running direct force feedback wheels, and they're able to drive a setup that's a little bit looser than the rest of us. And they really like that looser feeling on those direct drive wheels. So it does give them a little bit of an advantage, but you still have to have situational awareness.
And one of those drivers would be our race leader, the 75 of Robert Barris, the 77 of Seth Schultz. They are both running AccuForce wheels, and I believe Corey is on an OSW. So those are all direct drive wheels. We're nearing halfway here. Lap 76 will be halfway. And right now it is still Robert Barris out front leading it as we see the 10 of Todd Cray. Cameron. As we see, oh, Corey got really loose coming out of turn 2 there as he gathers it back up. Behind him is the 77 of Seth Schultz. So there's 3 direct drive wheels right there. First, third, and fourth.
The 90 of Danny Sanchez last lap there, he came up really quick on the backside of the 17 of Cody Franklin, and he tried to wheel the truck down and the truck just broke loose on him. He tried to gather it back up, went to turn up the hill and just took it straight into the wall, pancaked it. So he's headed down pit road to see if he can get that truck fixed.
As we see the 23 of Corey Brown, he's also making his way down pit road.
Yeah, it's probably getting close to pit stops here, I would imagine.
Well, I know the fuel window, they're definitely still tracking very much in the positive. I think now it's going to come down to driver preference on how long they want to run these tires. As it's been said all throughout practice that the longer the run goes on, the looser these trucks get. It's pretty much going to be every driver's gamble on how long they want to stay out and risk either losing the truck or getting caught up in somebody else's mess, which doesn't happen too often here, but when it does, as we saw earlier with the 50 of Michael Tan going for a wild ride down the backstretch, anything is possible. So we might be seeing the start of some green flag pit stops. Right now we see the battle for second place. This right here, we see the 23 Corey Brown. He is on fresh tires as well as the 97 of Cameron Hearn. So that is not for position against the 17 of Cody Franklin. Cody is being scored in fourth right now. Chris Ostrander is second, and Joshua Jones in the 76 there is our third place truck. As we see the 23 is going to come up real fast on him. Oh, and we had a little bit of contact between the 76 and the 23. We see the 77 of Seth Schultz. He is also not for position. He has made a green flag pit stop, so he is on fresh Goodyear rubber. He is going to be able to make it around all these other trucks as we see the 73 of Chris Ostrander make his way down pit road.
As the 75 is going to be rolling down pit road here.
That will be leader pit road. You see the 64 of Cody McFadden getting back up to speed. As we see the 75 of Robert Barris, that is your leader going down pit road right now. So that will hand the lead over, I believe, to the 76. Right now it's showing the 17 of Cody Franklin as our leader. It's a good job by Cody out there getting a lap lead.
Well, Walter, we're sorry to hear that you had to park the car due to engine failure, buddy.
Just know that you're not the only one that's suffering from it tonight. Las Vegas can be a cruel, cruel track. It's definitely a gamble anytime we come here to Vegas, and that was supposed to be a pun, and it came off extremely stupid, but not as bad as Alan earlier at the all-you-can-eat buffet. Every time we come to Las Vegas, I always go to the blackjack table, and Alan heads to the buffet table.
Hey, if I'm going to lose money, I might as well be enjoying it, okay?
Well, you might have lost money. I got some money. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Hey, whenever I play the slots, I lose. So I figure at least if I'm going to spend money at a casino, if I put it into the buffet table, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not so sure the cooks are.
No, they're working double time in that kitchen when I'm around.
So right now out front, the new leader is the 42 of William Ruland. So we've got a couple of our drivers from the league in live chat right now. We've got Walter Felt and Josue Tellez. See the 10 of Todd Gray and the 3 of William Vandervorst as he makes it around the 10. He is obviously on pressure tires. So right now the lead has been switched over, and new leader Corey Brown in the 23.
Josue knows what I'm talking about. He was sitting at the table beside me before he got in his truck, so.
I don't even want to know. Right now we are seeing the battle for the lead right here. It's between the 23 of Corey Brown and the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Cameron Hearn was our pole sitter. So we see the 17 of Cody Brown and the 90 of Danny Sanchez. Yeah, that sounds about right for Alan.
Yeah, but I looked over at him and he had 3 plates going at once. At least I worked with one.
Yeah, but your plate is the size of his 3 put together, so null and void. Meanwhile, out front, new leader, 97, Cameron Hearn. He's back out front. He made around the 23 of Corey Brown. Are you sure that's strategy and not you're driving around in circles or sitting on pit road and you wanted to have something to eat with you there?
Yeah, I think he stuffed his pockets before he left. I think he lined his pockets with plastic baggies.
Fire suits don't have pockets.
Oh, he wasn't in his fire suit when he was in.
Oh, come on. We know anywhere Josue goes, he's in his Jeff Gordon fire suit.
Oh, no. He was in his extra large Jeff Gordon sweatpants.
To each his own, I guess. Oh my God, I absolutely love live chat right now. So right now, the most exciting camera is having a seizure. It is just going absolutely crazy, focusing on different battles around. As right now, we're on the 77 of Seth Schultz. He's currently in the 3rd spot. See him get a little loose off the corner there, but once again, the advantage of having that direct drive wheel, it's very easy to straighten that truck back out. So in other words, what you're saying is you've got somebody that cleans the fire suit and the seat, but apparently that's good news to see. The 24's truck motor has been repaired, and he's going to get back out on track and run for some more points. So we get a really good look at the updated graphics there now on the Toyota Tundra here on the latest patch that iRacing did. They updated the Tundra to the new 2017 graphics, and what better way than to showcase it than on one of my paint schemes.
You know, I don't want to jinx it here, but these guys are doing a really good job now that we get those first few cautions out of the way. Now that we've done green flag pit stops and the cars are back out on track rolling again, geez, the field's pretty well spread out.
Well, with us being past halfway now, I think the guys have gotten a pretty good feeling of what these trucks do on the long run now, so they know what to expect. And I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to knock on wood the entire time I say this, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see anything but maybe an isolated incident that might bring out a yellow flag. But once again, now that the drivers know what these trucks are going to do on a complete fuel run, I think we're going to see, as we've seen the field stretch out, it takes a lot of pressure off of these drivers because they're not battling side by side and everybody's on a different sequence now. So they pretty much have all the real estate around them to work with, and if something was to happen where the truck would step out, they've got the room to save it without having to worry about looking in their mirror and making sure they don't collect another truck with it. So I think right now we're going to see a very long stretch of green flag racing here. So right now we are looking at 5th spot. That is the 73 of Chris Ostrander. In front of him is the 75 of Robert Barrison, 4th, Seth Schultz 3rd, Corey Brown 2nd, and Cameron Hearn still out front with a 1.8 second lead over 2nd. 64 of Cody McFadden. He is currently being scored in 11th place, 1 lap down, and in front of him is the 68 of James Brown. He is in 10th. He is currently sitting in the lucky dog position. So the 64 right now is trying to get up there and pass the 68 in the event that the caution would come out. The 64 would be the lucky dog. As of right now, it is the 68. And it's good to see the 6 of Rodney Kramer back out on track. We saw him involved earlier in that first incident. Great to see him back out racing for points in that newly painted Marlboro Toyota Tundra.
You know, I'm just kind of, I run in the blimp view a lot here at all of our races just so I can get a bigger picture and see what's going on a little better for us. But kind of looking back from the blimp here, there's really nobody close enough to make a positional move on anybody at the moment. And then, you know, kind of looking at track state is, you know, the corners are really turning black where these trucks are running. So it's great to see that iRacing has got that rubbering in effect starting to work a little better.
Look at this, Josue with a power move. They must have thrown a brand new Chevrolet motor in that truck as he motors around the 6 Rodney Kramer and the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst. So that 24 truck is absolutely on fire right now. Looks like they got most of the sheet metal straightened out on it too, so he's got a pretty clean looking truck. Pretty good, decent motor on it. Let's go ahead and pull a drop down on it and see what his speeds are. And then we'll do it in comparison. See as to what he is running versus what the leader's pace is.
Well, I mean, it is a brand new truck, so I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, he's so many laps down, he's just going to get it out there and just roll it and try to get as many positions. As
right now, Josue is being scored 59 laps down, but he is still holding 175 at the line, 177 briefly there going into the corner. And now we will go up to our leader and we'll see what their speeds are.
So I'm also being told that we should be seeing green flag pit stops about 56 laps. So that's what they get on a fuel run.
As right now our leader is coming down pit road, the 97 of Cameron Hearn on pit road. Green flag stops are starting here.
You know, it's,
we see the 6 of Rodney Kramer sliding it sideways a little bit, and he's going to collect that inside wall on pit road. So as he was making his way down for a green flag stop, he's going to probably be sitting in the pit stall for a little bit longer than he wanted to after making some contact with the inside pit wall there. You see the 10 of Todd Cray and the 5 of Brad Speidel. Meanwhile, out front, Robert Barris has a 10.4 second lead over second place, the 76 of Joshua Jones. Right now, I am looking at things, and until the timing loop updates on here, we have 7 trucks on the lead lap. Make that 5, no, 7 trucks, 6 trucks as we see more green flag stops happening. We'll see that number fluctuate as the 23 right there gets his lap back as he is on fresher tires versus the 75, who is our current race leader. As well as the 68, he is just in front of the leader.
I believe we'll see Robert come down pit road somewhere between lap 100 and 110.
Be interesting to see how the strategies play out as we see the 17 of Cody Franklin. Looks like he has just come off of pit road and getting up to speed, or he's getting ready to make his pit as we see the tailpipes popping. So he is going to take the 17 down pit road for his scheduled green flag stop. Right now we are working a lap 97 here at Las Vegas.
Some of these guys may have to make another pit stop.
See a little bit of damage there on the nose of that 64, but nothing major. Just a slight little wrinkle as we see the 23 Corey Brown's gonna go around the inside. Corey right now is being scored in 4th spot, so he just took that away from Cody McFadden, who is now our 5th place truck.
That's because there's, I think it's dirt kicking up on that lower line.
That could be it. I swear, every time we go through turn 2, it looks like there's a puff of smoke. So once again, we get a good shot of the 77 there. He is currently being scored in 7th. He is sitting on the lucky dog spot right now, and he has now moved up to 5th spot.
And once again, Robert is back out in the lead.
Meanwhile, once again, we get a good look at the 24 truck. He does have just only a minor hood pop there on the right front, so the 24 pit crew did an amazing job getting that truck put back together, as he was absolutely demolished by the 50, which brought out, I believe that was our 2nd caution of the race, but it was definitely the big one. And we see there's just a little bit of damage there to that rear spoiler, but not really too much affecting 24 in the aero department. We know he's got a decent motor under it since they basically replaced it and put a brand new one in there.
You know, here on iRacing, they managed to get that engine out back in about 30 minutes.
That's assuming you don't have any optional repairs on top of the required.
Right, but what I was getting at is it took me over 8 hours to get a Ford 7.3 back into its hole, so these guys do a hell of a lot faster job than I do.
2 holes I'm going to automatically punch in that. Number 1, it's a Ford. Number 2, it's a diesel.
Yeah, but the thing was, Art, you know, the engine itself went back in about 2 hours, bolted up, ready to fire.
It's the front clip that always does it.
The front clip was a mess. Broken bolts. I mean, we had to drill out 5 or 6 of them. It was just, I don't even want to talk about it. It was depressing.
Well, you know, my motto on Fords, especially the diesels, you hear that whistle, see that smoke, you just blew up your power stroke.
Yeah, and that's why driver returns on foot more times than they can count.
Well, it is nice, though, that Ford did go with the heated tailgates, and you get a free pair of shoes and a dog. That way you've got a nice pair of shoes and a companion to walk home in the winter if you can't push it. Now, I bag on Ford all the time. I don't give a crap what you drive. As long as it gets you from point A to point B, that's all that really matters. Personally, I'm a Dodge guy. I've driven all of them. I've driven Fords, Chevys, Dodge, Toyota, Nissan, you name it. So I just happen to like the way that the 3rd gen Dodges are built. Everybody, the first thing they'll say, oh, well, how many transmissions have you put in it? 0 on the factory transmission, and it's got a beefed up motor. So third gen, they fixed the transmission issues. Every truck has their flaw, and it's a pissing contest, just like with NASCAR, who's the best driver. It's just something that a lot of people do for fun, but all too many times people take it too seriously. As more good news, we see the 5 of Brad Speidel. He's back out on track after a new motor in that truck as well. So looks like the Chevy crew, the Hendricks motors, are definitely getting rebuilt and reused here tonight. As right now our race leader has a 16-second lead over second place with 45 laps to go.
I'd be watching for Robert to be coming down pit road here in the next 4 or 5 laps. I mean, that truck of his is really starting to get a little bit more of a handful and he's going to like it.
As we can see that off of turn 2 there, he got a little wide, which allowed the 73 of Chris Ostrander by.
Yeah, but, I mean, Robert's smart to let him go by and not race him because he is a lap down truck trying to get his lap back. He just needs to keep his stuff in good shape so he can get back down pit road and back out again and finish this race because I don't think anybody has anything for that 75 tonight.
That's usually the case. Right now we look at our 4th place truck, the 77 of Seth Schultz. His next target will be the 23 of Corey Brown.
No, it's kind of hanging around Josue here in the 3 of Mr. Vandervorst.
And also now the 10 of Todd Cray, and now back to the 3. Seems to be focused on this little group here of 4 of Josue Tellez, Todd Cray, Ralph Vandervorst, and Danny Sanchez.
And Robert should be coming down pit road about this lap.
And he will definitely be able to make it the rest of the way on that. As we see the 24, he's going to dive down and let these guys fight it out for position. Right now, we see that we will have a new leader. The 29 of Abraham McDonald make his way down pit road.
And I believe you're going to see our leaders coming down in probably another 10 to 20 laps. So I don't believe that Cameron Herron and Corey Brown can make it the rest of the race from where they pitted.
Fuel-wise, it'd be cutting it very, very close. Tire-wise, you would be riding on rims.
Yeah, I mean, as much fall off as this rubber has right now, I don't believe that these guys are going to be able to run it out.
Well, strategy is key, and if there's anybody that knows how to properly strategize a race, it is definitely the 75 of Robert Barris.
Yeah, there's not much he can't do, you know. He could probably race this on his cell phone using tilt drive and still outrun most of these guys here. So he's just unbelievable wheelman.
As right now out front, our leader is 97 of Cameron Hearn. Second place goes to the 23 of Corey Brown, and we are looking at our 3rd place truck, the 77 of Seth Schultz. We give a brief run through of the top 10 here. We have Cameron Hearn out front leading it. Corey Brown second, Seth Schultz third, Chris Ostrander fourth, Robert Barris fifth, Joshua Jones sixth, Ralph Vandervorst seventh, James Brown eighth, Cody McFadden ninth, and William Rulin will round out the top 10. And right now I am showing 6 trucks on the lead lap. Right now, Ralph Vandervorst is sitting in the lucky dog position if the caution were to come out.
Yeah, and just a quick note on that. He is the only truck 1 lap down. Everybody else
correct.
is 2 or more.
Eighth on back, we have 2 or more laps down. So this is definitely not only a rhythm track, but it is a strategy track. So you can't just show up with a truck and run it. You've got to kind of attack the track, so to speak. You've got to get out there, run the practice laps, figure out what the truck's going to do in the long run, figure out what your fuel window is, what you feel comfortable running tire-wise, how many laps, and then do the calculations, see how many pit stops you're going to make it, and then factor in the cautions if we have any. You constantly have to adjust your strategy during the race. If it stays green flag, that's one thing, because you know that you're going to have nothing but green flag pit stops. Now, in our case, with having the 3 cautions early on and now having the long green flag run, we've seen at least 6 or 7 different strategy moves done, and that is something that you constantly have to adjust and adapt to while you're racing, and that's why we see only 5 trucks on the lead lap right now as we come to 31 laps to go here.
Well, with only 31 laps to go, you know, these guys pretty well have made their bed. They were going to have to run what they've got and get this done. Corey and Cameron, I just don't see, unless there's a caution, I don't see them finishing up in the top 5. I think they made a poor strategy call here, but we'll see.
No, Corey Brown is down on pit road because Seth Schultz has made his way up to second. So the 23 is on pit road. That is our 3rd place car at the moment.
Yeah, I just feel he's already lost too much time.
Well, it's always a gamble on how long you want to stay out, whether you want to sacrifice the track position for it, or if you want to stay out there and lead the laps, or just push the truck to its absolute limits. It all depends on what you want to do as a driver.
I mean, he's going to have fresher tires than everybody else towards the end of the race. The fall off, I don't see that much of it happening for that 75 of Robert Barris. You know, he's got a good consistent run through the whole fuel run, so I don't think Cameron and Corey are going to be able to make up that time.
Meanwhile, the 3 of Ralph Vandervorst is making his way down pit road, which puts Robert Barris up into 3rd spot. So now he's going to set his eyes on the 77 of Seth Schultz to take that 2nd spot over and try and run down the 97 and get that lead back, as we have 28 laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Right now, Corey Brown is sitting in 5th in the lucky dog spot. So now there are 4 trucks on the lead lap. Right now we are looking at the 77 of Seth Schultz. He's currently being scored in 2nd. He started 4th. His fastest lap was a 30.739. His last was a 32.563. And right now he has a 8.3 second deficit to the leader right now. So he's got a lot of ground to make up as right now the 23 Corey Brown makes it around. That is not for position.
Right, but I still believe Cameron has to pit before he can make it. I don't think he can go the distance unless he's going to roll the dice here at Las Vegas.
Oh, right now the interval is still going up, as right now it's been pulled up to an 8.4. Now it's shrunk back down to an 8.3. I think it's kind of equalized out right now. It's going to come down to, can both of these trucks make it the distance before, not just the distance to finish the race, but before Robert comes along and says, see you later, bye.
Yeah, Robert has shrunk his deficit from 8 seconds down to 5.5. So, I mean, he is on the move. He's coming quick.
As we look right now at the 75 of Robert Barris, he started third.
Caution, caution.
Oh, we got a caution on the track. And it looks like the 17 of Cody Franklin is going to bring out this caution. Let's wind it back and see exactly what happened here. And now we see everything's looking good as they go through 1 and 2. See the 68 of James Brown behind him and the 24 of Josue Tellez in front. They make their way down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. So Cody gets a little high up the track there, and James gets down on the inside, and Cody gets a little loose and just taps the side of the 68, which sends him through the grass. And good job by Cody locking down the brakes on that 17 truck, but that will bring out a caution. So that's definitely going to level the playing field here now. As we see the lead lap cars coming down to pit right now.
Well, that does change up the strategy a little bit there for the 97 and the 23, because the 23 is scoring him on the lead lap.
Which that will put, I believe, Chris Ostrander in the lucky dog.
I believe it does, as long as he does not come down pit road.
Well, you could get the lucky dog and then pit with 2 to green, because lucky dog, you're going to be end of the line anyways. So you go out, get your lap back, and then you can come down pit road after taking the lucky dog. As long as it's prior to 1 to green, the lucky dog is allowed to pit.
Right.
So out front, it's going to be the 97 of Cameron Hearn, Seth Schultz in the 77 second, Robert Barris in the 75 third, Joshua Jones in the 76 fourth, and Corey Brown in the 23 fifth. Those are your lead lap trucks as of right now.
So Corey Brown was not actually on the lead lap. For some reason, he was being scored on the lead lap, but he was not on the lead lap, so he received the lucky dog. So, you know, these guys, Chris Ostrander, James Brown, Cody McFadden, William Ruland, Avery McDonald, Ralph Vanderhorst, they're all going to want to take a wave by here, as well as maybe you might see Adam Nowinski, Cody Franklin, Rodney Kramer, and Danny Sanchez if he's still on track.
Well, right now, the way it's looking,
coming down pit road.
I see the 28 of Adam Nowinski. I see the 3 of Ralph Vanderhorst. I see the 24 of Josue Tellez. I saw the 29 of Avery McDonald. So there's several, including the 73 of Chris Ostrander, all staying out right now. They are in front of your race leader right there, the 97 of Cameron Hearn. It looks like they might be opting to take that wave by to get back on, get a lap back, as Avery is in contention to get 1 lap back, and that will put him back on the lead lap. Adam is being scored 2 laps down, so that'll give him 1 lap back, so he'll still be down 1 lap. And that all can change if we have one more caution here before this race ends. It could put a lot of trucks back on the lead lap.
I'm not sure what James was thinking unless he had not pitted yet, but he was a lap down and he came down pit road instead of taking the wave by. That's a little concerning.
Well, this time by with the scoring loop, it is showing James Brown on the lead lap in 7th spot. So we now have 9 trucks on the lead lap. So going through the top 10 as the lights on the pace car are out. Your race leader, 97 Cameron Hearn, Seth Schultz 2nd, Robert Barris 3rd, Joshua Jones 4th, Corey Brown 5th, and Chris Ostrander 6th, as everything has been updated again. Now there's 6 trucks on lead lap. So now it's going to come down to those 2 trucks right there, the 75 and the 23. Both talented drivers. How hard is Corey going to push it, and how hard is Robert going to push it?
If I'm Robert, I'm running it hard. I'm getting out through these guys. You know, he does have Seth Schultz up there. Corey Brown's right behind him. And there's a lot of good drivers. The 97 to Cameron Hearn. Those guys are all really good drivers, so there is some competition up front there. So if I'm Robert, I'm going to let it all hang out.
97 wastes no time. He gets a good jump on the start there. Green flag is out. We're back as we see the 23 of Corey Brown give the 75 of Robert Barris a good little shot. So that's definitely going to allow the 23 to snake by the 77 of Seth Schultz, as right now we've got action going on all over the place, but right now the battle is going to be for 1st through 6th. I think James is betting on a caution.
Well, I hope he gets his caution and raises me a green flag. I mean, a checkered flag.
Were any of the shrimp that you ate bad? Were they like discolored?
I hope not.
I hope not either, because our hotel rooms are adjoining and I don't want that smell coming through. As we see Corey Brown looking to make it 3 wide almost there, coming through the front stretch.
Hey,
Robert Barris is going to take the inside here going into 1 and 2. Corey Brown right behind him. And Seth Schultz right behind him. They're going to try and make it a 3-car train to get around the 97 of Cameron Hearn.
You were warned before we ever left to come to Vegas to bring your gas mask, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, well, I stopped over at the Pawn Stars and I bought a World War II one. Unfortunately for me, they didn't sell air canisters.
Just wad up a roll of toilet paper in there, you'll be good.
Works for me. Or just hang my head out the window. Right now we got a nice tight battle here for the lead between the 75 of Robert Barris and the 97 of Cameron Hearn as they come out of 3 and 4. Be 16 laps to go, this time at the stripe.
Yeah, I don't believe that we're going to see that 97 give up too easily. I think he's going to fight tooth and nail.
Well, he did start on pole tonight, and he's looking to capitalize that and not only be our pole sitter, but be our winner as well. Because right now he's got a little bit of an advantage, but Robert does have that inside line, which on fresh tires, a good thing, as we see Robert, Seth, and Corey all using that apron to try and keep as much momentum as possible as they barrel into 1 and 2. But right now, Cameron's holding his own there on the outside line. I think it might start hurting the 75 of Robert the longer he stays down there, as he's going to tuck in behind the 97 right now. I think that's the smarter move to do.
Yeah, it's definitely the smarter move to duck in behind, kind of save your stuff. But, you know, we're coming to 10 to go in less than 5 laps, so you really got to think about where you want to be at the end of this race and how far and how hard you want to drive that truck.
Right now, I think Robert's strategy is put just enough pressure on the 97 to let him get out and get a little bit of a lead, get a little bit too confident, and then just make the slightest mistake, and then Robert will be there to capitalize on it. But that 97 truck is our pole sitter, so he did throw down the fastest time, so we might actually see somebody actually give Robert a run for his money here at Vegas.
Well, I mean, in all this going on, we got the 23 making a pass underneath the 77 of Seth Schultz. Or attempting to pass.
Right now, Cameron has stretched it out to a 4/10 of a second lead as they come to 12 to go here. I'm pretty well guessing that Robert is saving his stuff and waiting to make a move on us. We did see some sparks there. These guys all have to race a lot smarter this season due to the fact that we do have a 4-week chase. So we have 8 races that will determine who makes it into the final 4 chase races. So right now, Cameron Herner stretched that lead out to a 7/10 of a second. As right now, the second place of 75 Robert Barris is under fire by the 77 of Seth Schultz. And Seth is going to take it. So maybe we might see the 97 walk home with the victory here. But I don't know. We've got 10 laps to go here, so anything can still happen. We might see the 77 try and make a run for it, but I don't know. That 77 or the 97 right now is just checking out.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with clean air, as we saw earlier. Once Robert got out front there and in that clean air, he was able to kind of step out quite a ways as well.
I know we always preach aero when it comes to a super speedway because whether it's the Monster Energy car, the Xfinity Series car, the Camping World truck, or the K&M National Impala, it doesn't matter what you're driving on a plate track. It is 100% reliant on the draft. Now here at these intermittent tracks, 1.5 miles, 2 mile, the draft is still there and very real, but what's more important at these smaller tracks is exactly what you said, being out there in the clean air. Anytime you're in dirty air, it tends to upset the balance of the truck and the handling of it. And right now, the 77 is sitting really good. He's in fairly clean air. The 97 is in perfect shape, in great air. The 75 Robert Barris, he's in decent air. Corey right now is in the worst of the areas. He's behind Robert, so it not only comes down to draft, it really comes down to keeping that truck in the right pocket of air. You don't want to get in the dirty air because it'll slow you down. It'll make the truck either loose or tight. It's not a place you really want to be in, especially with the laps winding down as fast as they are. As we see, the 77 of Seth Schultz has brought that lead down to a 4/10 of a second lead. If he can knock that down here, we'll have 6 laps to go at the line. We might see a new contender for the win here.
Well, either Cameron burned his stuff up here and slowed down, or he just slowing down, maybe saving his stuff at this point, and hopefully has enough to hold off that 77 to take the win.
Meanwhile, the focus has shifted. We're looking back at 9th spot right now. That is the 42 of William Ruland. He is 1 lap down. As we go back up front, see different lines being run by the 97 and the 77. As now the lead is down to a 3/10 of a second lead with 5 laps to go here. Right now we are looking at the battle for the lead. It'll be 3 laps to go, this time by at the stripe. A half a second right now splitting first and second place. We actually have 2 battles going on, one for second and one for third. We see the lap truck of Josue Tellez there. He's going to move out of the way and let the leaders by. Two laps to go this time. The lead has been brought up to 0.6 of a second here. I don't think anybody has anything for the 97, as he's only got 6 more corners to bring home the checkered flag. White flag this time by. Last lap here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Can Cameron Hearn capitalize? He started on pole. Can he seal the deal and win it here tonight? He's got 2 more corners to bring it home and get that W and the checkered flag. As they come down the backstretch for the final time, there's no contention. The battle is going to be here now for third place between the 23 of Corey Brown and the 75 of Robert Barris as they come to the line, hand the victory over to the 97 of Cameron Hearn. Seth Schultz is going to come home second, and Robert Barris is going to hold onto that third spot. Corey Brown made one hell of a run there at the end to try and get third from Robert, but Robert managed to hang on to it down there on the apron. So that's going to put this race in the books. We've got, I think, the first time for this season that the pole sitter is also our winner. So with that being said, before we get the driver interviews underway, we're going to bring up the summary here. So out of the 150 laps completed, we had 14 lead changes, 4 cautions for 14 laps, and that right there is a very, very, very manageable number to deal with. All the cautions were, 3 of them were early on, and it was basically because the drivers really didn't know exactly how the trucks were going to handle all together like that. So we saw a few incidences happen, but we had a great long green flag run to the end, minus the one little incident between the 17 of Cody Franklin where he just got loose coming out of Ford. And now we are going to bring in our third place finisher, Robert Barris. All right, Robert, you brought it home third tonight. How do your arms feel? I know they got to be sore after 150 laps here at Vegas.
My wrist is numb, my right shoulder is on fire, and my left shoulder is pretty sore. It's a really long race for us. 150 laps at a mile and a half, a little bit longer than we usually run. And the turn 1, especially low, is pretty bumpy, and so that's that makes the wheel really active, and so it takes a lot of strength to get that thing to kind of go where you want it to go. But that's, I guess, worth it. Really hated to see that caution come out. I think strategy-wise, that was mine to get. That pit stop just didn't take enough fuel, got the truck a little too tight, and it took too long to come in. I didn't have enough time to run it back down at that point. So good win there for Cameron, good finish there for Seth.
Well, you said it best. If that caution didn't come out, you would be sitting in the spot for the checkered flag there. But we all know that there's one thing that's predictable about racing. It is 100% unpredictable, and the caution fell, and it seemed that it fell directly right into the pole sitter's hands, as tonight Cameron not only brings home the win, he was our pole sitter, but nonetheless, great points night for you. You brought it home third, and despite being sore, I know you love being out there on track. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, we're going to give a shout out again to everybody at Diehard Racing League, Seth, you guys, Art, Alan, everybody in the broadcast booth, Mike, for doing race control, James and his company, Automated Office Technologies, for coming on board and getting us, paying the bills. Other than that, I think that's about it. Well, anxious to go check out the results, see what kind of bonus points we got racked up with this chase format. It's really right now it's about bonus points and accumulating everything you can to carry over into the chase. So we'll check that out, and I think we're off next week for Easter Sunday. So hopefully we get it done here in 2 weeks.
Yes, we will be off for Easter Sunday, but nonetheless, a great points night as you come home third. We will see you in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll be interviewing you up in Victory Lane instead.
Looking forward to it.
That was our third place finisher, Robert Barris. Now we're going to bring in the second place, the 77 of Seth Schultz. And Alan, I'll let you start things off.
Seth, looks like you brought it home second, buddy. We know you run that direct drive wheel. How are you arms and stuff feeling right about now?
Well, today it was nice outside for the first time in a while, so I did a bunch of cleaning in the garage, and my left forearm is all cramped up right at the moment.
So you're right on par with Robert then. He said his wrist was numb, his shoulder was on fire, and we know that those direct drive wheels put out a crap load of force. So 150 laps, long race for the league in the truck, and especially with being on the low line. Robert mentioned that it was extremely bumpy going through 1 and 2. Running that direct drive wheel, you guys feel it 100-fold compared to guys like us who run the standard belt drive or just dual motor wheels.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel it tonight. It's the first time I've actually felt it in a race where it actually cramped me up. I think majority of it's due from outside today all day and being warm. Morning, it was over 70 degrees today, which is high compared to what it's been. It's been like 50. So just overdid it today and then drove the damn car and really paid the price. But I was glad to bring the Smoky Mountain home in second. I haven't had a chew in 3 weeks because of it, so glad of that.
Well, I was watching as laps were winding down there. You really started to make a little bit of time on that first place truck, and then I heard you call out in the race chat there that you kind of made the right rear a little mad at you. What happened there?
3 and 4, if you got into it too hard, if you got into the throttle a little too hard, you'd spin the tire on the right rear. I mean, I'd want the right rear to come around, and I did it a couple laps in a row, and it made the right rear angry at me, and it was hot. I mean, if I look at my tire temps right now, my percentages left of tread, I got 89 on the right front, but I'm at 85 on the right rear. So yeah, it was a little warm.
Yeah, you made her a little bit angry there if you burned more off of a rear tire than the front tire. But nonetheless, you brought it home second, which is a great points night for you. And I think this is the third or fourth time you brought one of my paint schemes home in second spot. So it's good to see my paint schemes getting up there. We still have yet to see a W yet, and I'll do a happy dance whenever that does happen. And I'll make sure I have a webcam so everybody on the internet can see me look like an idiot when I finally get to route one of my paint schemes into Victory Lane. But with the chase format in play, it's all about bonus points, as Robert had stated. So definitely that second place finish is going to help a lot tonight.
It's going to help with the standings, but I haven't got a bonus point, I don't think, yet this season, but maybe one. I tried getting a lap led early in the race. I came down pit road, and of course somebody stayed out, and I didn't see them. They were behind me, so I didn't get my bonus point there. And then the cycling didn't work out. Cameron was going to stay out, and I was going to stay out, but then I seen Robert was going to catch me, so then I said, screw it. I was going to come down pit road, and it didn't matter at that point because we were going to get a top 5 out of it anyways. But no, it's looking forward to the next race, and I got to thank James Brown with Automated Office Technologies and Cody Franklin for the sponsorship for the race for the luck of the draw at the end of the race here. So other than that, I don't know too much else. We'll probably just see you next week.
Well, on top of that, who do you want to thank? Other than James and Cody.
You guys for broadcasting, of course. Other than that, I mean, it sounds kind of odd to thank myself for the league, but I thank everybody that has that shows up and races every week is what I usually say. So, and I do mean it. I mean, if they weren't for them, we wouldn't have what we have. So I appreciate everybody that does everything. Even Mike up in the officiating tower, he's got one of the most pain in the butt jobs to do, and but I definitely got to thank you guys a lot too for broadcasting. You guys do a good job.
Oh, here.
Who was the luck of the draw today?
Yeah, that's a question there too.
I don't know if Mike remembered. He has to go do it, so I might have to shoot him a little message.
He did it. I didn't hear it. I'll get back with him on that.
All right, sounds good.
This might sound a little better appealing since you don't want it to sound cheesy. We, as the league, thank you for putting this all together, because it all does come out of your pocket, and it does help that James came on board for the next 2 seasons to help sponsor it, to ease a little bit of the pain out of the wallet. But without you putting out the money and the time and all the effort, none of us would be here, and it wouldn't be possible with this. So I think everybody, I speak for the entire league, where it's just a gigantic thank you for all the work that you do by putting this league together. We've got by far one of the cleanest and best group of racers out here, and if you weren't around to do it, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, I appreciate that. But like with that said, I still think everybody else, I mean, all the feedback that you guys have given and everybody else has given from the time we started it 3 or 4 years ago has got us to where we are. So, I mean, it was a group effort and really appreciate it.
All right, and next week we are off for Easter Sunday, and we will return in 2 weeks. What track do we go to?
That realm will return left.
Oh yeah, I know that one very well.
I can't remember. I wanted to say it was Richmond.
Oh God, no.
I think it's Richmond night.
Huh. That'll make for some interesting racing.
No, it's not Richmond. It can't be Richmond.
No, because I think we do Bristol and Richmond back to back.
I don't know. I usually have my sheet sitting right here so I can. It is Richmond. It is Richmond.
All right, so in 2 weeks we go to Richmond.
If it's not, well, then call me a liar.
Liar!
All right.
All right, nonetheless, great job on second place. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Stand for it.
All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's bring our pole sitter / winner in. And before we do that, the luck of the draw tonight went to the 29 of Avery McDonald. So congratulations to him for getting the luck of the draw award. All right, Cameron, you did what very few NASCAR drivers has been able to do. You set it on pole, and you also brought home the win. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. The track is real slick, especially in the long run. You gotta be careful. The right rear tire getting too hot, but didn't start off on a good note. Got the pole, but jumped the start, so we had to, kind of climb our way back up. But made it up through the field and was able to hold off Robert and Seth at the end.
Now, we know that Robert, Seth, and Corey are all on direct drive wheels, and they were all pretty much worn out and sore after the race. What equipment do you run on?
I have a Momo, which is probably 12 years old. Yeah, so it's one of those wheels that it's been with me from day one, so I kind of stuck with it.
Nice. Well, it was an absolute great race. We had the 3 early on cautions, an amazing long green flag run, and then we had thought at one point that the way that pit strategy shook out that it would tip the favorite to the 75, but we got that late race caution, which leveled the playing field, and you were able to hold off the 77 of Seth Schultz and bring it home in victory lane. So congratulations on that. Is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yeah, just want to thank Diehard for putting on the show. You guys for broadcasting, and about the long run. I was actually saving fuel. I was going to be good by 2 or 3 laps at the end, but is this a question of whether he would have ran me down or or not, because he was gaining on me fast. So I think I've been close at the line. But anyways, yeah, it was a great race all around. I'm glad to bring it home first week back from having a broken leg. So it's nice to be able to still compete.
Oh, wow. That's definitely another check mark in the win column then. Well, we're off next week for Easter Sunday, and we'll return in 2 weeks at Richmond. Let's see if you can make it 2 for 2.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to try. Be happy with the top 5, though.
All right. Once again, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So now we are going to bring up the race results here. And they are the official results coming home not only with the pole, but the win. We just spoke to him. Your race winner, Cameron Hearn. Second, the 77 of Seth Schultz. Robert Bears is going to bring it home. Third, Corey Brown. Fourth, Joshua Jones. Fifth, Chris Ostrander is going to bring home. Sixth, James Brown, who is our title series sponsor. So another shout out to him. He's going to come home seventh. Cuddy McFadden will be your 8th place finisher. William Rulin brings it home 9th, and Ralph Vandervorst rounds out the top 10. Moving on, our luck of the draw winner, Avery McDonald, he's going to bring it home 11th. Adam Nowinski in the 28th is going to come home 12th. Cody Franklin's going to bring it home 13th. Rodney Kramer 14th. Danny Sanchez 15th. Todd Craig is going to be our 16th place finisher. Brad Speidel 17th. Josue Tellez, who we talked to after he got barrel stuffed on the backstretch. He's going to come home 18th, so still was able to salvage some points tonight. Walter Felt's going to come home 19th. Caleb Thompson's going to round out the top 20. Douglas Hess is going to be our 21st place finisher, and Michael Tant is going to round out the field in 22nd. So all in all, it was an action-packed night here. We had our early typical race cautions. We had the big one on the backstretch involving about 4 or 5 trucks. But after that, the drivers getting the feel of the track, the rhythm down. We had an amazing long green flag run. We had the late race caution, which brought the playing field out to tip the favor back over. And what we saw was just an absolute amazing race with the pole sitter winning. Alan, what do you want to say before we wrap this thing up for the night?
It'd be nice to have the weekend off next week. I do know we're covering Mr. Shift Friday.
Nope, that's Tuesday.
I'm sorry. Mr. Shift Tuesday and Cyber Racing on Friday. But we will have the whole weekend off for Easter. So, we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks at Richmond. That looks to be an exciting race, so we'll see how it goes.
As Alan stated, on Friday, we will be moving into the second elimination round for the Cyber Racing Association K&N Automotive Solutions West Series, where it'll be 8 drivers battling for the final 4 spots leading into the last race of the season to crown the champion and also the winner of the Z's Custom Diecast Award. And on Tuesday, we will be bringing you non-stop flag-to-flag coverage of the Mr. Shift Racing League live at Texas Motor Speedway, where they are going to battle it out in the A car, which we understand with the updates that iRacing have done, the A car is supposed to handle a lot better than it has done in the previous build. So we should see. With them, we've seen absolutely immaculate racing. The only exception that we knew going into it, Phoenix was going to be a little bit rough, but they still managed to pull off a decent race at Phoenix. Daytona was awesome. Atlanta was awesome. Vegas was awesome. Alan, unfortunately, wasn't there to cover Vegas, but they ran it green flag from start to finish, and hopefully they'll be able to carry it through as this past week here, we did not cover the Martinsville race in fear that it was going to be a dumpster fire of a race, but we will be returning on Tuesday night at Texas with them. So for everybody here at Diehard Racing and Diehard Live TV, thank you to everybody for tuning in. We will see you on Friday. Remember, we're off Sunday, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks with Diehard. And don't forget to tune in this coming Tuesday for Mrs. Shifts. So Thanks to everybody for watching. We will see you guys next race.